Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our eminent panelist, Mr. Roland Sobich, Vice President, Clash Germany, Mr. Ronak Verma, Vice President and Country Manager, India and SARC for CNH Industrial India Private Limited, Madam Shubhra, ITS DG and Advisor Trade from Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, Madam Shomita Biswas, Joint Secretary MNT, Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, distinguished industry members, delegates, and friends from media. Good morning to all of you. A very warm welcome to the inaugural session of the first edition of CII Virtual Conference on Emerging Technologies for Farm Machinery. The theme for this conference today is growth opportunities in agri-mechanization through technology advancement and synergy in global supply chain ecosystem. Our objective today is fourfold. First, building capabilities for innovation in design and manufacturing of farm machinery. Second, being a catalyst to a very important initiative of Government of India of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And thereby, third objective is to provide push to the local manufacturing with impetus on import substitution. And fourth, encouraging exports of components of farm machinery by creating opportunities for our local vendors. Before I put forth my thoughts, I would like to share a quick update on the event. On the day one and in next two sessions between 11 to 1, the participants would experience interesting deliberations on innovations in farming technologies related to product design and development and cross-industry technology innovations and their applications in agri-machinery. First conference will be participated by most of the OEMs, and second would be supported by the vendor friends across the country and outside. The highlights include on day one, there will be VDP vendor development program will be conducted by 8 OEMs. All are engaged in manufacturing of tractors, harvester, implements, and other mechanization machinery. And 8 speakers from these OEMs will be giving presentations on their products that require import substitution and require new technology support, and for the and also they'll tell us their procurement policies and procedures. There are virtual stalls of sellers of about 16 sellers, and on day two, buyer-seller meetings will be conducted virtually. Almost about 95 meetings have been confirmed with different vendors and OEMs. There are total number of delegates, including 5 from overseas, Israel, Bangladesh, UAE, Brazil, and Vietnam, counts to about 500. So it's a good support to the event, and there's a lot of interest by both OEMs and sellers to make this event a really meaningful one. The farm mechanization has had a revolutionary impact on the development of agriculture and improvement of farmers' livelihood in Asia Pacific region. India is a leading player both locally and globally in this sector, and the development momentum is expected to accrue even more as we go further. As we all know, the mechanization industry is expected to grow about 5% CAGR on longer term, which is a very healthy growth, and this is in line with agriculture GDP growth as both of them are intertwined. We all know that India manufactures largest volume of quantity of agriculture mechanization equipment, including tractors, at a very affordable price. We need to appreciate that our products endure almost 3 times more usage hours per year and is expected to actually last decades before it gets fully scrapped. The durability and the technology at the least cost have been the hallmark of our industry, which is offering a very innovative and robust products. And this is the strength of India, is which is considering uh, a huge potential in global market as well. However, still mechanization status in India offers a lot of potential to innovations in this space. Indian farmers are also increasingly attuned to try out new techniques, implements, and quickly making changes in their approach towards agriculture. And with the involvement of digital technology, the future of agriculture mechanization will be data driven and focused, thereby cutting down wastages. Farmers will have access to quality information and tools that make farming very efficient. And farmer groups will also have access to critical data that will allow to make informed decisions and more profits as uh, as it will give growing global access to these farmers. With the recent splurge of sales volume, this is probably the right time to engage much more, not only with domestic and global trade partners, but also more importantly, with the partners of supply chain. This would help in completing the matchmaking exercise of demand supply woes which industry has witnessed over last 6 7 months. Conventional procedures of engaging with the vendors, suppliers are not the order of the day as we experience the pandemic and transformation in last 6 7 months. And virtual platforms have gained really a lot more importance. Industry experts are now seeing a vision of having a digital platform where new products can be sourced, showcased at much significantly lower cost. We all know that agriculture is critical to large and populous country like India. Self-reliance is the key for food security of our country, and mechanization is the key to achieve this. And innovation in mechanization, enabled by a supply chain ecosystem to make it implement fast, of course, will augur well for overall development of Indian agri-mechanization industry. I'm sure thoughts of eminent panelists in the next two conferences and in this conference, in this opening session, will further reinforce this. With this, I would like to request other panelists to put forth their thoughts. So before I invite Mr. Roland Sobish as next speaker, let me share his brief introduction to you. Mr. Sobish is Vice President, Head of Service Function, Purchasing, Business Unit Grain in Class, Germany. The company is globally renowned German multinational with quality products and state-of-the-art technology, leading the market in several segments of farm machinery also in India. Thank you, Mr. Roland Sobish, for accepting the invitation, and over to you.
Chairman, there's some issue at Mr. Roland's end. I think I would request if you can actually invite Mr. Ronak to address us first, and then we further move on to Mr. Roland.
Okay, Jajit. So Ronak, over to you. Let me introduce Ronak Verma, my colleague from the Indian infrastructure industry. Mr. Ronak Verma is Vice President and Country Manager, India and SAARC for CNH Industrial Private Limited. CNH is a top, as you all know, top global manufacturer of farm equipment, and Ronak leads the company with his knowledge and entrepreneurship in this country. Over to you, Ronak.
Thank you, Harish. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, please. You can please proceed.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone, and welcome to the CII virtual conference. Indian agriculture is at an inflection point, and there is an ever-growing need for food production with a growing population and income levels. But at the other hand, we have several constraints that remain related to productivity and efficiency of agriculture. And these structural constraints in terms of land holding, economic levels of producers have resulted in mechanization in the form of tractors. And therefore, what we believe is or what we call is a tractorization in India, mostly consisting of low horsepower tractors being the source of power in farms and relying on implements to cater to specific applications that are then powered by such tractors. Farm labor availability is at a decreasing level and has a decreasing trend, and that's happening very rapidly. Today, it employs about 44% of all labor in India. This is down from 60% in 1999 and is estimated to reach 25% by 2030. Today, our mechanization rates are low. It's about 40%, compared to China, which is 57 and 75% in Brazil. And our mechanization, as I said, is mainly in the form of tractors. We have a 5 million tractor park, and that equates to about 1.5 hectares horsepower per hectare. And we need a 13 million tractor park, and we expect to achieve this in the next decade. That drives almost 8 to 10 million tractors sales potential, which equates to somewhere between 60 to 80 billion dollars that we can realize over the next decade. There are several policies of the government that are aimed towards eliminating these constraints, and while they are set in the right direction, they take time. As the new generation of producers who are anxious and armed with the entrepreneurial spirit of India enter the field, they're armed with mobile devices which exponentially increase in terms of computing power. And technology is the only thing that can help us overcome such constraints very rapidly. Connected technologies in machines, enhanced telematics, integration with external data sources such as soil and aerial mapping, drive precision farming. Manufacturers will learn more about consumer behavior and machine usage through connected machines and connected customers to provide better suited products. Also, they will look to enhance the experience of owning such assets through digital assistants that are personalized for each type of application. While brick and mortar channels for sales will not go away, they will be significantly enhanced and augmented with digital channels. These technologies will help both manufacturers and consumers be more productive and efficient. Captured data through connectivity will help drive a deeper understanding of tailored applications versus general application usages. It will allow simulation of farming practices and predict changes for better yields, such as timing of sowing and harvesting, the right crop given soil conditions, climatic conditions, and crop prices, soil moisture content and irrigation requirements, etc. Planned activities allow for more efficient supply chains in terms of transportation, storage, and other market dynamics. This will allow for manufacturers to design tailor-made products. And while we integrate digital tools with soil, satellite, and drone imagery coupled with increasing mobile technology, we would drive a servitization model where pooling of assets will allow producers to actually get what they need. Now, these will drive a huge need for components that needs to be sourced locally. Today, sensors and IoT components that enable connectivity are essentially imported in India. We need components that provide diagnostic signals for telematics to support failure prediction and over-the-air updates. We also need mechanical components that can take longer duty cycles. We need to create the ecosystem to support such component manufacturing through a robust incentive policy or policies that are reliable in order to induce investment in the sector. This must include export incentives in order to build scale and competitive pricing and to supply to the industry. If these conditions exist, the entrepreneurial spirit of India will take over, and we will deliver a supply system capable of catering to needs of the industry. The Harvard business professor Clay Christensen describes an entrepreneur as a person that pursues opportunities without having the resources to do so. We Indians are entrepreneurs at heart, and with the right conditions, we develop a robust supply ecosystem to power the next generation of farm mechanization in India. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ronak. I think you have very aptly said the kind of tractor park potential India has. It's still a lot of headroom to go, and thereby it offers a lot of opportunities for the industry to grow. And as you said, the government policies are in the right direction, and it's up to us now to leverage them as well for our own growth. You also aptly pointed out the connected technologies and precision farming requirements, which will also lead to the different components like sensors and IoT devices, which probably are imported now and really offer an opportunity for all of us to get it locally developed. So thank you, Ronak, for your thoughts. With this, Jasdeep is Mr.
So we still have
sorry.
some time, yeah, for Mr. Roland to join. I think we can invite Ms. Shubhra to kind of further address.
Yeah, I think this virtual conferences are are taking away this freedom to understand what's happening everywhere. So that's the order of the day, nevertheless. So with this, it's my pleasure to invite Madam Shubhra, ITS DG and Advisor Trade from Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, to share her thoughts. A warm welcome, Madam Shubhra. We are grateful to you for guiding us on how to involve Indian missions abroad and how do we can evince interest among the foreign buyers through the embassies. As a leader in foreign trade, you understand with your years of experience, the local industry aside, and out and your expertise is valuable in understanding how foreign companies can make India their home. Over to you, madam.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Shawan. Thank you, Mr. Ronak Mama, for having me here. I'll try to be very brief so that I stop before the buzzer goes off. So I can see that there is some kind of a buzzer which is going off every time.
Not to worry, ma'am. Not to worry.
So I think the importance of agriculture mechanization cannot be, cannot be emphasized enough. And India realizes that mechanization is the next level, which is going to help us in increasing production, in reducing losses, and also reducing the cost of production. And we have another very important target of doubling farmers' income, bringing prosperity to our rural India. So I think mechanization also has an answer, to all those problems. Now, having said that, on the domestic front, whatever ministry is doing, my colleague and the chief guest of this function would be, I'm sure highlighting all the efforts which the ministry is undertaking to push this sector in domestic markets. So I would just take few minutes to highlight the potential, the global potential of this sector. As I understand, there is, I think the exports the world over, the export is 50 billion and imports are 50 billion. So I would say the 100 billion market, US dollar market, is there in the world, and we are at around 1 billion. So there is a lot of potential for growing, and I am so confident of my industry. I think Mr. Chavan is here, so Mahindra is one of the lead in industry here. So from 1 billion, we are just a 1% share. So you can understand, I mean, when we are talking about our increasing our exports, taking the economy further and all that, so it's so easy to achieve. I would request CII to give me specific points which can be done, which are doable, which can be kind of addressed, whether it is by way of having MOUs, whether it is by way of, like it was suggested, whether it is an export incentive is required, or what do we do here? Because as fortunately we have a positive balance of trade in agriculture, farm machinery. Our exports are, as I said, something around 1,000 million, and the imports are only 1/3 of it. So I would say yes, let's focus on it. And since the topic today is only components, I would just ask somebody to, CII also to give me a breakup of all this export and import of agriculture mechanization, whether it is the tractors, because all this trade I'm talking about, it is made up of agriculture, horticulture, forestry, machinery, for soils, harvesters, threshing machineries, cleaning, potting, grading, tractors, everything is included in it. So what is the share of component? Let's first, try to reach that, and that how do we have very specific interventions from the government. Commerce is with us on it. So agriculture and commerce will join hands with CII and with all the stakeholders to take this, I would say, a very niche area and a very, very potential area to its next level. So I really, wish all the best to CII for organizing it. And I will look forward to having more such programs. And I would be participating very actively. I would involve whatever efforts machinery we have at our disposal to join hands with you, and let's look forward. I think there is a lot to be achieved here. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. And you're very right in pointing out that how the global potential, and while we say that we are the largest industry in the number of tractors produced or all this counting in numbers, when it comes to revenue, we are take this 1% market share to something else. So thank you for your guidance, and we will certainly reach out to you as an industry to take your help to make inroads in global markets and take this endeavor forward. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Sure.
Jasdeep, I think.
Chairman, I think, yeah, we can invite the chief guest now because this Mr. Roland is not joined until yet.
Although joining of Germany was the most relevant part, because as I can see, Germany is the largest exporter of agri and farm machinery at 20% of global trade. So it was very, very relevant for him to be here. Yeah, please move forward.
Yeah, so with this, I would like to welcome our chief guest today, Madam Shomita Biswas, Joint Secretary MNT, who has recently joined the department just 4 months back amidst the lockdown and the turbulence. Right from the word go, Madam Biswas has been anchoring and has led from the front, energizing the farm mechanization department within the ministry with the new ideas and willingness to listen to the industry. She has initiated many dialogues regarding implementing critical policy frameworks for sector policies, building on innovative and new ideas for supporting mechanization and technology while being a proponent of private sector investments. Would like to, we request you to share your thoughts, madam. Look forward for hearing your insights and directions. Over to you, ma'am.
Mr. Harish Chavan, Chairman for the program and CEO Mahindra and Mahindra. Mr. Ronald Sobushis has not joined. Mr. Ronak Verma, Vice President, Country Manager India and SAC, CNH Industrial India Private Limited. My colleague and friend, Shubhra, IT, DG and Advisor Trade in our ministry, and distinguished participants of this event, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank CII for having me here as chief guest. And I would also like to congratulate CII for this first edition of virtual conference on emerging technologies for machinery. I must also congratulate Mr. Chavan for conceptualizing this brilliant program and well thought out initiative of bringing together vendors, OEMs, buyers and sellers. I understand that besides the opportunity to speak, debate and discuss at sessions, CII is also conducting a vendor development program where OEMs can showcase and talk about their products to buyers. That's a wonderful initiative, I suppose. This particular program is, as has been mentioned by Mr. Harish, that there'll be B2B meetings and there will be, buyers and sellers meet, etc. There will be, I think, 9 of them. And it is really well thought that in today's context and the kind of opportunities we have, and our Prime Minister, who is also, and again is, talking on Atmanirbhar Bharat. So it's at the right moment that we are having this program organized. As you know, that farm productivity depends on, other besides other inputs like fertilizer and pesticides, machines and farm machines also play very, very crucial role in improving the productivity of crops. And India has been able to stay strong during the testing COVID times. This shows how farm mechanization had been very important when labor migrated, and these machines, came to rescue the farmers. This is what I would say. When the crop was at the harvesting stage, and at the same time, ministry also very proactively ensured that all required permissions and facilities were provided to the farming sector, and this in turn ensured timely and bumper harvest. We must reiterate here that agri mechanization is critical to increasing productivity and the income of small and marginal farmers. And without farm mechanization, achieving these targets shall not be possible. And through diverse initiative, the government is trying to reach mechanization to small and marginal farmers. And most of you are part of our scheme, as I understand. So here we want more involvement, engagement of industry in this segment of in the farming community. I want them to reach out to these, small and marginal farmers through providing through services of CHCs under their CRS component, CSR components, and it is estimated we have been able to reach 3 million hectares of cultivated area so far. However, our cultivated area is 140 million hectares. So do I have to, because I see that I have 20%, that's what, but buzzer is ringing. So I'm just wondering, is there really time constraint? Then I'll stop.
No, madam, there's no time constraint. Please go ahead.
Yeah, buzzer. Because of the buzzer, I was thinking, because in the schedule, I was looking at the time accordingly, I was trying to speak. I would like to share that farm power availability, which has, which was 1.78 in sometimes in 2010-11, and with the whatever ministry has, ministry has taken certain initiatives in terms of implementing certain schemes. The farm power availability has increased to 2.49. This is a very recent report that the information I'm sharing from. And as rightly pointed out by Mr. Verma, that tractorization per se is not mechanization in true sense. Tractor, as I understand, is the source of power. Tractor per se cannot, really help farmer, but tractors with suitable implements and equipments and machines actually ultimately help the farmers in terms of increasing the productivity of his or her crop. So therefore, now is the time that we must, as rightly pointed out, we must have tractors definitely, but in terms of use of tractors of higher power, that is the need. At the moment, the tractors which are being used are mostly between 30 to 40 horsepower, so which should increase, and that would also help increasing farm power availability. I urge industry to focus small and marginal, small equipments, and particularly for the difficult terrains like northeastern region of the, like terrains where we have very small holdings. Not only small holdings, we have terrace farming. So what kind of equipments and implements would be required? That is very, the industry fraternity needs to work on, those areas. Very important. And efficiency of machines. That is also important. We may mechanization may increase, farm power availability may improve, but efficiency is the most critical, I would say. Now that we have reached 2.49 kilowatt per hectare, now is the time that we should also start focusing on the efficiency of the machines. And now, I said that Ministry of Agriculture, particularly my division, Mechanization and Technology division, has small but very definite step in mechanization, and in under Atmanirbhar Bharat. As you all know that how, during the COVID times, how migrant workers started moving from the urban agglomerates to their native places, and many of them were rendered jobless. So at that point of time, we started a very specific skill development program, these migrant workers, and this is still going on. And almost more than 600 migrant laborers, particularly from UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, MP, they have been skilled. And now is the time that I call upon industry that they should be engaged, meaningfully, because until unless we engage them in the industry or manufacturing industry or wherever it's possible, their whatever skill they have developed, probably they'll tend to forget. So it's very important that involvement of industry in this particular area is also required. Another issue or another aspect of Atmanirbhar Bharat that we are focusing is that how to indigenize our technology, our machines. And department is supporting and promoting, as you probably be knowing, that a vehicle mounted sprayer using rotary atomizer technology was developed for pesticide spray. So this is a very good initiative. So I would call upon all the industry or manufacturers to have more indigenous components in their machines. That would really make our country Atmanirbhar. Another thing that I would like to share with you is that the training. See, while we improve the mechanization, there remains a gap between the capacity available with us, trained people available with us who can handle these machines, and the machines. So therefore, capacity building, training, skill development, it is very, very critical. And we are working on that direction. We have these 4 institutes with us. And besides, we have also designated 35 other institutes like SUs, State Agriculture Universities, state departments, and one of the IITs is also our testing institutes. So these are the kind of initiatives the government has taken, but we definitely want that industry fraternity should also get involved in in all these aspects. Otherwise, because without the involvement and partnership with industry, mechanization cannot move forward. And therefore, our roles together as the international conglomerates, government, industry, and others, farmers, also involve farmers. And I'm sure that you must be involving farmers while developing your implements. But I think you should also talk to the farmers who are in interior areas where normally people don't reach. We need to understand their requirement and their needs, and accordingly machines and equipment must be developed. So I congratulate once again CII for having organized this workshop, and I would call upon such platforms which can help highlighting, raising awareness of the need to follow business practices and keep in mind the benefits of farmers and less privileged, creating continuous forums and platforms to communicate ideas, solutions, and innovative ideas, better understanding of standard international and Indian industry practices, support research studies, and create training packages and join hands with government for providing training to fill this gap, exchange best practices, guide and advise members of setting up effective mechanism, and of course work with governments to promote better use of technology and streamlining the process, and also involve young entrepreneurs. I think that is also very, very must involve. Though bigger industries are important for us, or young entrepreneurs should also be involved in the entire process. So when we involve all these stakeholders, together, probably I think we will definitely move forward in this farm mechanization direction. Once again, I thank you all for having invited me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think it's very aptly said that the tractorization happened, but the mechanization is of more importance, and that's the focus we will all take forward. And secondly, the aspect of efficiency enhancement. Mindful, and we will, through such events, seek support from our vendors to help us in that. Next, also, it was a very important message, ma'am, that our country is a diverse country. The needs of mechanization would be so. Therefore, this to focus on smaller marginal farmers as well as understand the needs, develop small at the same time for betterment of other aspects. High HP focus and mechanization tools along with it also needs to be developed, and it's a balanced call we as industry we need to take forward. Lastly, most importantly, we really appreciate and recognize the need for skill building and industry participation with government. We are taking multiple steps, and certainly we will take this as also one more aspect for us to work upon. So thank you, ma'am, for your guidance and insights in this area. Now I understand, Jasdeep, Mr. Roland Sabish has joined,
Yes, sir. He's
and
joined, sir.
probably we would also need to have a perspective from Germany, how they look at us. So it gives me immense pleasure to request Mr. Som to guide us through this. Just for introduction of Mr. Sobish, he's Vice President, Head of Service Function, Purchasing, Business Unit Grain in Class, Germany. And as you know, the company is globally renowned German multinational with quality products and state-of-the-art technology, and leading in several segments in farm machinery in India as well as in many other global markets. Over to you, Mr. Sobish.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Hello from Germany. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Chavan for inviting me to this absolutely important conference. It's really a privilege for me. First time that I do that. Thank you also for introducing me so nicely to the audience. My topic for today is technological trends in ag industry and the relevance for suppliers. I guess, as already said, everybody knows about company Claas being one of the top global players in the farm equipment business. We are developing and producing combines as well as forage harvesters, tractors, and other farm equipment. Our vision is to be a provider of smart farming solutions. I will come back to this topic later. If you'd like to get more information, please do not hesitate to visit us under www.claas.com. Industries around the globe are currently struggling with the impact and the uncertainties of the COVID-19 pandemic. But other than these industries, we are really happy to say that the agriculture sector is, after some years of downturn, back at a considerable upswing, and also midterm forecast make us optimistic. The reasons are obvious. Constantly growing world population wants to be fed. Eating habits are developing to higher level, and reduced availability of arable land requires more efficient farm equipment. We could now lean back and enjoy. Nevertheless, we know from past experience that we need to make use of exactly these prosperous times to think about the upcoming challenges, and this is absolutely definite. They will come. Therefore, I really like the idea of CII bringing OEMs and suppliers together on a virtual platform today in order to talk, to exchange, and to take conclusions on future trends and demands, which we are expecting to come from customer side. Maybe this is a little European view on that, but some of these you can probably share. 21st century is, from my point of view, an exciting time for agriculture. Technological innovation and especially digitalization will support farmers in easing their work, improving their efficiency, and sustaining the increasing competitive pressure on food production. This new frontier of digital innovation in farming, which we call smart farming, holds key to the future. At least this is our belief. OEMs will still continue to deliver machines made of rock-solid steel or other materials. You know, I'm talking about these fascinating monsters outside in the field, which are eating a huge amount of straw, and after that delivering at the end an output of more than 100 tons of nicely separated grain in only 1 hour time. But we need to rapidly evolve our competency in being solution providers, connecting farms, farm managers, machines in the field, and the machine drivers with digital technologies. We must develop strategies how to censor and collect the relevant data during harvest, and to design components that can help providing such information to the farm managers and their swarm of machines, so that the performance of the machines can be immediately be adjusted, processes can be optimized, and the efficiency alongside the entire harvesting chain can be improved. Just 2 examples. CLAAS has been awarded several times for its CEMOS solution. This is an intelligent machine supervising system, helping the driver to always work at the limits, at the optimum of the machines, even if it is an unexperienced driver. Second, CLAAS is providing a data connect internet platform, which can also be used by competitors, as we want to enable machine swarms of different brands to collaborate in harmony and improve efficiency of the farm. We recently had a CTO from an automotive company with us and explained to him how our activities on autonomous harvesting and how active we are in this field. He was quite surprised about the development in ag industry, and he stated, ag industry seems to be really ahead of automotive. Can we please continue our exchange on that? Now, at the word of exchange, suppliers come into the game. As the majority of the components are, in our case, purchase parts, 80% of the value of a machine is purchased in. We require external partners to give input and to help speeding up with our developments, and this should be in a kind of win-win partnership. OEMs can provide the creativity platform for out-of-the-box discussions with suppliers, which hopefully in the end will lead to breakthrough solutions for the Internet of Things in farming. We, as CLAAS, want to start such discussions, but I believe the other OEMs as well, with suppliers at the earliest possible point in time during a development phase. Not only at the very beginning of a project, but already in pre-development discussions. Suppliers for sensors, for actuators, suppliers for telematics, as well as other suppliers alongside the entire powertrain and the MMI, man-machine interface, are requested to sharpen their technical competence, sharpen their global setup, and their competitive edge in favor of such an early supplier integration strategy. This was some outlook on digitalization, but now I would like to leave this topic because of limited time and would come to some hardware topics which also require innovation power. First, we are confronted with current and future regulations coming from local as well as global authorities, which must be considered now and in future. Just want to mention the emission regulations, which are developing around the globe into the same direction. And authorities will push us further to take over more environmental responsibility and to improve our efficiency on the consumption of natural resources, as well as on the increase of usage of renewables. Second, weight reduction is another topic. The larger the machines get, the more relevant the topic of soil compaction will become, as soil compaction puts farmers' yield on risk. However, we cannot only replace steel parts by using a lighter material. An intelligent redesign is required, and this we want to discuss with suppliers. Third, farmers remain sensitive about the initial investment cost, and this will be in the future as well. But total cost, lifetime cost, become more and more important. This means product reliability, as well as heavy-duty solutions, are of higher relevance for professional farming in order to reduce breakdown cost and other inefficiencies. One last point. As of today, there are a lot of local heroes in industry. This is true for Europe, this is true for India, US, wherever you look. But in the future, the investment for above-mentioned technologies will mainly pay off for the big global players. And this has also relevance for suppliers. They need to readjust their global appearance. Would now like to come to the end and to summarize. Smart farming and Internet of Things are key innovation drivers already today and will become more important in the future. Customers ask for solutions, maximizing their productivity. Not only digital products will drive technology. Also the hardware means the machines require advanced engineering in order to meet expectation of customers and of authorities. Global OEMs are defining their world best supplier platform today. They will use same parts designed for modular platforms in different production plants around the world. Therefore, they rely on partners having a global supply competence, offering advanced technological solutions, and who are capable, strong enough to withstand the challenges of the global competitive pressure by accelerating continuous improvement initiatives. Thank you very much for listening to a German speech, and I hope I could add some value added to your very important meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sobish. It was nice to hear the perspective from across the. We really echo the sentiment before that the early involvement of the vendors and their abilities, while OEMs will provide a creativity platform, but suppliers, vendors will have to join hands to make the things effective, improvise the designs, and create win-win situations. That was a very big message and core to this today's conference. So with that, thank you very much all panelists for joining in and making this conference very relevant. If I have to summarize few takeaways, it's what we discuss. I think it's really important, as we all said, that connected technologies and precision farming could be the order of the day, and how to adapt our machines, how to localize these components in India is going to be the key task going forward for OEMs and supplier integration. Secondly, as Madam Biswas said, that we'll have to have a balanced approach, focusing on small and marginal farmers, as well as providing high-end technologies for the relevant farmers. And that approach, certainly we will take forward. And Mr. Sobish, the important point which you made is to enhance global competitiveness of Indian industry. It's really going to be for us how to leverage the supplier confidence as well here. And Ronak also made very important point that the government policies are in right direction to enable all these things, and we need to leverage. While I say so, I would take this opportunity to submit one more request on behalf of industry to Madam Biswas, that the new policy of production-linked incentive has been formulated for automotive industry, but we would certainly want it to be applicable to the mechanization industry and tractor industry, because it will also form the core growth requirement for Indian industry. And as the industry is growing, such kind of initiative also to tractor industry would make immense sense. So thank you very much. Last but not the least, I must also extend thanks to the core group of this event and my fellow colleagues from different OEMs, eminent speakers, also in the forthcoming panels who will get engaged in discussions, and also suppliers who are availing this remarkable opportunity. I must also thank the exhibitors and delegates who have joined from different departments of government and delegates from media. And last but not the least, I must also thank all the sponsors who have supported this event. With these words, once again, I wish this conference a success for over next 2 days, both in B2B meetings as well as in vendor development program this afternoon. And I would request the participants to stay back for upcoming panel discussion on innovations in farming technologies related to product design and development. Now I hand over this session to Mr. R.P. Vasudevan, Chairman of Technical Committee of Tractor Manufacturers Association and Director of R&D for SAME Duits for India, to moderate the next session. Over to you, Mr. Vasudevan.